Hi Michelle, I'm going to kind of run through the drums here real quick. So I'm going to try and describe what the drums do, what they're called, and what they sound like. And that'll help you when you're in Ableton to sort of get a visual of what the drums look like and sound like with relation to how they're listed. Because I'm sure on that software they're going to have different drum kit options and possibly different types of cymbals and cymbal sounds, etc. So it sometimes helps to kind of see it, what a real drum set looks like, so you have a better understanding. So the most important drum on any drum set is the snare drum. It's called a snare drum because underneath the drum, let me just pull this off so you can kind of see it. There's an actual snare. And you can have the snare off like that, or you can engage it and have it on where it sits tight on that bottom head, and then you get that snare sound. So I'll show you kind of what this sounds like, the snare drum, and that's what kind of holds the beat together. And you can also do rolls and fills on the snare. So with the snares on, it sounds like this. And then with it off, an open snare. So there's a big difference in the sound there. Anyway, and then I have a dampening ring, which gives it just a flatter sound. Otherwise it sounds like this. It's got kind of a ring to it, which a lot of people don't like, so they dampen it down with this. That kind of, and then you get a nice tight sound. So that's the snare drum. The next most important drum is the bass drum or kick drum, and that's the big one, which is operated by the pedal, by the foot. And together, between these two, you can get beats together. The next most important piece of any drum set is the hi-hat, which is two cymbals that are operated by a pedal, and we can get a chick sound just by hitting the pedal, or we can just put our foot down on it and get that sound. And the tighter we put the pedal down, the tighter the sound. Or the closer we get to the center also changes the sound. And if we release our foot just a little bit, we start to get a different tone. And when we put all three together is when we can get a beat. So I'm just going to do a simple 4/4 beat. Also engage the pedal to get an open hi-hat sound that sounds like this. Which is Walk This Way by Aerosmith. Or we can put the accent in different areas like this. So those are the three most important drums. With these three you can play any song. But it's nice to be able to do other stuff, get some fills and accents and things going on with cymbals. So let's just finish up with the drums. So this is the first rack tom. Mine is 13 inches, I think 13. And then we've got a 14, a little deeper. And then together. There they go. And then lastly we have the floor tom. It's called a floor tom because it's too big and heavy to usually mount, so they put legs on it and it sits on the floor. So that's the other one. next most important piece is probably the ride cymbal. That's the big cymbal right here, and we kind of get this this sound. And like the hi-hat, it's a time-keeping cymbal. It's got more sustain. They also have a bell in the middle. Sometimes drummers like to have a bell accent. And with the drums, it's like this. That kind of feel. And then we have a lot of cymbals. Most of these are crash cymbals. That's the most popular type of cymbal that are used in a drum set. I have different sizes which give different tones, and that may be an option on your Ableton, or whatever it's called, I don't know. But here's the 17-inch. 18-inch. 19. A little deeper sound, and 20. And all together. We also have some effect cymbals. I've got a little baby one here. We have a China cymbal. Very trashy sounding, but really cool for that certain effect. And then we've got this one. And you can see they have a much different sound than the crash cymbals. So that's basically the drum kit and what they do. I'm going to try and explain some of the fundamentals with drums, especially notes, because that's when you're building all these re-drums and you're trying to understand drums and what they mean. Everything is done by notes, and we kind of double up each time. So the single note is simply this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A half note, we double 1 and we get 2, so that's a half note. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We double 2, we get quarter notes. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. We double 4 and we get 8, which is eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to double 8 and get 16. We're going to use 2 hands to do that. I won't count it because it's like super quick, but here we go. And then when we double that, we get 32, which is like this. And that's it. That's all the notes that you need to worry about. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and 32. That will give you every combination that you need to make any beat, any re-drum, any intro, any outro. Okay? So what I'm going to do here is try and apply those notes on the hi-hat so you can clearly hear how they sound in a beat. So we're going to do a 4/4 beat, quarter notes on the kick drum. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to do half notes on the snare drum. So we're going to hit the snare drum on 2 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to keep that beat throughout. And then I'm going to add the notations that we just spoke about on the hi-hat so you can hear them and how they work with the beats. All the notes. There you go. And then sometimes when you're doing